Hello everyone, and today we have with us not one but two civil services topper of 2020 batch. Please welcome Mamta Yadav, AIR 05, right? And Radhika Gupta, she is All India rank 18. A warm welcome and many congratulations to both of you. I'll start off with you, Mamta, right? So what were you exactly doing when the results were declared?
I was doing some household work.
And this, it came as a surprise or a shock?
The rank was definitely a surprise.
Okay, but you were expecting, right?
Yes, I was expecting, but not this rank.
Not this rank, okay. And Radhika, what about you?
I was actually watching Kota Factory Season 2 at that time.
Okay.
It was launched on the same date.
Okay.
So I was watching that and I was on last episode. And as Mamta said, same happened with me also, that the rank was really a surprise. Okay. So I was expecting a rank, but not this rank for sure.
So we are not expecting that?
No.
Not even the rank?
No, I was expecting a rank, but not...
Not in double digits, right? If I ask, just brief and crisp introduction about you. Just a brief one.
So, my family is from Haryana, but
Okay.
I have spent most of my life in Delhi only. I did my schooling from Balwant Rai Mehta Vidya Bhavan. After that, I did my BSc in Physics Honours from Hindu College, Delhi University. Then this is my second attempt in UPSC. Okay. Last year, I have been allotted Indian Railway Personal Service. Okay. And currently, I am undergoing the training for same.
Okay, you are undergoing the training. And Radhika, what about you?
I was born and brought up in Alirajpur. And after that, I did my schooling from Alirajpur itself. And then I did mechanical engineering from GSITS Indore. Right. I have also worked with Honda Cars India Limited for 1 year in Greater Noida. And I've been a colleague of Mamta, so I am also into Indian Railway Personal Service.
Okay, you both are from the same batch.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's lucky of you that you're getting into same services. Both services are IAS?
Yes, sir.
Since you referred about Alirajpur, right? So I personally know where it is, but our viewers, they might not be knowing it. So how it feels that you actually made this small city on this big map of India, that yes, it's visible, and I've come from this and I secured a rank of 18.
I'm extremely lucky, first of all. And secondly, I'm really grateful about all of this. So all my life, I had this baggage that I come from a district that is the least literate district in the country.
Definitely.
And things were difficult. But then I also feel that I was fortunate enough because somewhere things fell in place. So it's a very happy feeling.
Okay, it's a happy feeling. And Mamta, you come from Haryana, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're from the district of?
Mahendragarh.
So, see, we all know that Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, it was launched from Panipat district, right? From Haryana only, right? After, I think I clearly remember it was Anu Kumari who was also selected from Haryana.
Yes, sir.
And now you are, among getting the students, single digit rank. You're getting all India rank of 5. So that's in itself is an achievement.
Certainly, sir.
Certainly, yes. Since we belong to, the Forum IAS community. So, how do you come to know about this? What courses we offer, or were you associated with any test writing courses or anything?
So, I was associated with Forum largely for my mains test series program. Okay. So, I wrote mains test series in this second attempt at Forum. Sure. And I got to know about it from the online resources. I used to Google and then I read some reviews, some of the blogs on Forum community, and that is how I got to know about it.
Okay. And Mamta?
I also joined for the MGP and the essay test series in my second attempt, and I got to know about it from a friend who was selected last year.
Okay, you got to know about from a friend who already got selected. So you were a part of MGP, mentor guidance program. So what you liked about it?
It's very flexible that you can give the test at a time of your own convenience. Okay. Then the test results are also, the time taken to evaluate the copies is relatively less. So I think that is also a good thing. And besides that, I would say that the quality, the checking, remarks were also helpful. So all in all, it was a good experience.
So now see, since both of you are officers, right? So when and why did you decide to become an officer?
So I decided it in college. I had not... I did not even know about the exam before. So I decided in my college only because from my teachers and many of my seniors have also qualified. Mm-hmm. So it is primarily in my, I would say, third year or second year ka end that I decided to do the civil services.
So my thought about UPSC came when I was working with Honda and I was in Greater Noida. So that was for the first time when I came to Karol Bagh for some shopping, and that is how I got introduced to the examination. So before that I did not know about examination per se, because Indore, I came from Indore, and there this kind of environment is not there as of now. So that is how I got introduced through Karol Bagh and through the region of Rajendra Nagar. And then it stuck in my head, it got stuck. And after that I did some research, and then I also understood that it does offer certain avenues to work in social sectors, and I was somewhere inclined to it. So that is how I developed interest and I started my preparation.
Preparing for civil services, right? So Mamta, as you said that you started preparing for civil services from the college itself, right? Or you got to know about it?
I got to know about it and I decided. I did not start.
So it was a decision at that time. It was made, right?
Yes, sir.
So when you wholeheartedly prepared for it?
I started my preparation in May 2018.
2018, okay. And you started preparing from your job itself, like while you were working?
Yes, I was working. I worked from July 2017 to July 2018.
Okay.
Somewhere around February 2018, I started preparing.
Right.
So 3-4 months along with my job. And then I resigned and then I started full.
Okay, you resigned from your job and then you prepared.
So there was no push from peers or family. It was my own decision. I thought that it's a good career option. It's a very diverse field that I can get to work with. And that is also that you can work in the social sphere. You do have some power and authority to make change in someone's life, if not in the entire system. So that is what motivated me, but there was certainly no push.
Very similar, like there was no push from anybody. Because largely I come from a business family background, so that was there. And as Mamta also mentioned, that the canvas that UPSC offers or civil services offers is really large. So I think that is something that really motivated me to pursue my career in civil services, because having come from the district, I also knew that this is a career where I can do something which can bring a change in somebody's life. So that is how I got introduced, and that is how I started pursuing the civil service.
But see, it's generally said that yes, I can start, because there are ample candidates who start preparing for the civil services they have been preparing for quite a long time, right? The thing is that we need extra fuel. That what motivates you to even continue even after failures. So this was which attempt in which you were selected?
This was my second attempt, and I was also selected in my first attempt.
Okay, you got selected in the first attempt.
Yes, so in my first attempt I got 556 rank, and as I said, I was allotted IRPS. So this was my second attempt.
Same story, this was my second attempt, and in my first attempt I did not get through in the first time, but through reserve list I got into Indian Railway Personal Service.
Now, technically speaking, if I talk in the term of polity, I have a starred question for both of you. Okay, I need an oral reply for the same. What is the ideal time that we should start preparing? In the college, while working, or from the, you can say, reading newspaper from the school itself and then start preparing?
I think there is no ideal time as such. Everyone can start at their own convenience, and because everyone will have different compulsions. Some people will have to prepare along with, say, studies or jobs. So there is no ideal time, but I think for most people, as I also started 1 year before the exam, would be a good time. Okay,
it will suffice.
I think very similar opinion, because there is no ideal time to start, but then there is ideal time to finish the syllabus. So that 1.5 year of gap before you write the prelims, I think that is a very good time frame. So whenever it strikes that, okay, you want to pursue a career in civil services, give yourself 1.5 year or 1 year, which is a good amount of time. And I think that would suffice to attempt prelims and mains if planned productively.
So it's not about when you start. It's simply that once you have started, you need to give the push and you need not give up, right? You should not even. Okay. So now you have cleared, all the 3 stages, the prelims, the mains and the interviews. So what was your strategy? If I specifically talk about prelims and mains. So Mamta, I'll start with you. Was it an integrated strategy or a segregated one? That no, I'll prepare for only prelims first and then I'll look into the mains one, right? Or it was a more or less like an integrated one? No, it will, suffice both.
So the starting, I feel, has to be integrated, because we'll be studying for subjects like polity, economy, history, geography, which are part of both. So the starting I did integrated. I was trying to make my base in these core subjects. After that, I would say in my first attempt, 5-6 months before the prelims, because it was my first attempt, I started a prelims dedicated preparation. So, and then obviously after the prelims, it was all about mains. So I think the starting has to be integrated, because that core, if once formed in those 4 subjects especially, I think then you can go in any prelims oriented or mains oriented, whichever you're finding difficulty with. But for the beginning, it has to be a very comprehensive study.
Okay, the start has to be somewhat, comprehensive, I think, right?
Similarly, because there is no point in when you study in silo, so that does not help, because when it comes to prelims and mains, the syllabus is largely the same. Right. Some things will differ in prelims and mains, so those things have to be tackled with the same lens. So once an understanding of syllabus is there, we can see that okay, these are similar subjects, these are similar areas, so they have to be studied with both the lens of prelims and of mains. Okay. And what I used to do is that I used to read a topic, then go and solve previous year questions for prelims, and then go and write previous year questions of mains. Okay. So that is how I used to comprehensively cover one topic for both prelims and for mains. Okay. So that is I think integrated and somewhat similar to what Mamta has also said.
See, I asked this question because we regularly face these kind of queries that, sir, should I prepare for prelims first, wait for the results, then start for mains, and eventually they end up wasting one attempt. So that's so nice of you that you tell that yes, it has to be integrated first, and then you can segregate it when as soon as the mains or the interviews come, you can very well focus on the interviews also. Sure. So if I ask, I think I personally consider, yes, most of the student does. Do you read newspapers? Yes, I should ask. You read newspapers, right?
Yes.
Which one?
I read The Hindu only throughout my preparation. For some time for interview, I read The Indian Express, but that also not completely, just some pages.
Okay, The Hindu.
Yes, The Hindu was the only thing.
Yes, I read newspaper daily, and I think we as officers should read newspaper. I mean, I don't know what kind of officers we would make if we don't read newspapers. So I personally loved that part of my day, and I used to read The Hindu largely for prelims, until prelims. Right. And during my prelims and mains, I only used to read editorial of Hindu and Indian Express.
Okay, it was more like focused study of newspapers, right?
Yes.
So I just want to ask, is it even necessary? Yes, we need to go through newspaper, because we have gone through multiple interviews of toppers that they even say that no, they started reading newspaper just 2-3 months before the mains, and they did not read it even for prelims, and they relied more or less on monthly magazines. So is it even possible?
No, I think reading newspaper is very important, because it gives us say whatever we are studying, polity or economy, we see it happening on a very real time in the newspaper. So it will enhance our understanding. Also, I feel that in the newspaper, the same topic will be covered, say 2-3 days continuously. So along with reading, it's sort of a revision also that is taking place. And I feel it etches better in our memory, and it can help in a small way, even if you are reminded of a small point in prelims and can eliminate a few options, or even in mains you can mention some solution that was mentioned somewhere in an editorial. So I would say reading newspaper is extremely essential, and I don't see why anyone should not do that.
Because we have seen multiple toppers, they say, no, I have not studied newspaper, but still I've cracked it. What's your take?
I think, I don't know about people who say that they have not read newspapers, but I personally read it for all time of my preparation. I never skipped newspapers. A, because I loved reading newspapers, I still do. And B, because newspapers for me personally, they helped a lot in my mains content enrichment. So I used to make notes for mains topic wise, because as mentioned by Mamta also, that things come for 2-3 days, especially in editorial. So I used to pick up points, I used to pick up data, some certain committee recommendation or certain scholars from newspapers. And that is how I made notes for my mains. So I did not wait for a monthly magazine that would come at the end of the month. For an entire month, I used to make notes. And to be honest, at the end of the month, I didn't need the magazine to be read completely. I just picked up certain areas from there and added to the content that I already had for the entire month. So for me, newspapers were a base to prepare my mains notes. And as I also said, that we have to read newspapers because it makes us wiser and it makes us more rational and, objective person, and I think we as citizens should read newspapers. We should not skip it.
So, see, you have gone through newspapers, right? You do it daily. Do you make notes daily out of newspapers?
Yes, I made notes daily, and so I started because in the beginning someone told me you should make notes, so I kept on making it, and I found it useful. But yes, this can be something that can be a personal choice. So I won't say that making new notes out of newspaper is indispensable, unlike reading newspaper. So that can be a personal choice. If you are able to revise properly through a monthly magazine, I think that can be enough also. So I made notes, but would not say that it is absolutely necessary.
I think the answer is again on similar lines, that it's not mandatory, but then since I wanted to cover the topic then and there itself, so I used to make notes, and I personally liked making notes daily because that was one way to differentiate myself from the other thing. I did not have to wait for monthly magazine and then I would cover it in one go in 8 to 10 hours. So I had my own handmade notes with diagrams or with added points, even on the same day as the topic came. So I could cover it comprehensively then and there itself. So I think that was my idea. And for prelims, I did not really make notes of newspaper. Because I did not understand completely as to what would UPSC be picking up from the newspaper. So largely for the mains part, I used to make notes from the editorial sections of Hindu and Indian Express. So that is how I went about it.
Okay. Because generally students say that at the end of the year, the newspaper in itself becomes an altogether a different subject, which they need to revise. The notes become so humongous that most of the students, they hardly go through it again, right?